Hello, moms. Hope that you are doing well. So, you all are welcome to my YouTube channel, Level Up Your Baby. In this video, I'm discussing about an important topic for our parents. That is healthier attachment for happier future in children. Much like adults, children are relational beings who seek out others for affection and warmth. From the beginning, they convey that they are trying to cultivate. For a long time, the parents' sentimental link to the infant has been alluded to as a relationship that had occurred immediately. This placed a lot of pressure on new parents who wanted a little more time to adapt to their new position of caregiver. We now realize that the parent-infant bond is really more of a marathon than a run. The partnership phase or attachment is not going to happen immediately. Instead, attachment is formed over the course of thousands of brief yet significant parent-child experiences that occur as part of day-to-day caregiving. Treatment for the first year or two. Any changing in diaper, every bottle or breastfeeding, every soft touch, these lead to attachment. As such, attachment can take several months to completely develop. When we are talking about this topic, there are some points to highlight for you. Good commitment is one of the best predictors of a child's well-being. It is created through thousands of positive parent-child experiences. Also, babies depend on a stable bond to survive. It also acts as an emotional bond that meets the needs of both the parent and the child. Securely attached babies seek out mothers while they are in pain without being too reliant or clutching. Parents can create these relationships by responding regularly in responsive and caring ways. However, children should also be granted chances to learn to be self-sufficient. As example, just allow your baby to cry. Babies may be connected to more than one caregiver at the same time too. Well, now let's see what is a safe attachment. Nearly 50 years of study on the subject have told us a lot about attachment forms and their lifetime benefits. Babies come into the pre-wired universe to realize that their life relies on others. Yet bonding is more than survival. It's an intimate bond that satisfies the needs of both the adult and the infant. It's often described as a dance because when babies have a solid, stable relationship to their caregivers, there's smooth giving and taking consistency that feels effortless between them. It's not to say that babies who are tightly attached never whine or scream, but they do. Yet, firmly attached babies are characterized by the way that they are comforted more comfortably in the company of their nursing caregiver. They consciously seek out their caregivers while they are in pain without being too clingy or dependent on their parents. As they mature, they are able to explore their environments with confidence and to return as required for emotional attachment. So, as parents, how can we support for the secure attachment? Parents who react sensitively and consistently to their infants put them on the pathway to secure attachment. The thought is that babies who regularly receive such care start to ascertain the planet as a dependable and nurturing place. They will then focus their attention on learning about the planet and their place in it, rather than worrying with whether or not they are going to be nurtured. How can we know how can we know what babies experience once they feel this way? For many years, the strategy researchers want to study secure attachment was videotaping parents and their infants together under mildly stressful situations, then observing the small moments of connection that occurred or didn't occur. Newer research uses cortisol, a stress hormone, to live a child's level of response. Interestingly, it's under moment of stress like separating from their caregiver, then reuniting, that securely attached babies show the clearest signs of healthy relationships. Usually, this is often shown to crying at some point during the separation, then recovering well soon after the parent returns to comfort them, and eventually moving on to happy play. Parents are often distressed once. Parents are often distressed once they hear their infants cry, once they are apart, but this is often actually a positive attachment sign. The baby is communicating that their secure base is out of their sight. What matters most is what happens next. Babies who feel safe within the world usually recover within the presence of others who look after them. Their energy gradually returns to playing, feeding, or otherwise interacting with those around them. There's also a transparent difference in how calm and reassured they are within the presence of their parents or other primary caregiver, compared to the reassuring presence of somebody less familiar to them. Even before verbally ready to say so, your baby is communicating, "I feel better once I see you. I trust that you'll look out of me." Does this mean I want to reply to each whimper or risk attachment problems? No, not in the least. Attachment doesn't require to be at your baby's side every second. Some have misinterpreted attachment research to think that this is often the case. In fact, the parent-child relationship is supposed to be a balance between dependence and independence. Within the early months, babies cry out for tons of reasons. Discomfort, overtiredness, and hunger are a couple of. Parents got to be reasonably available to their baby's needs. But that doesn't mean that a baby shouldn't take the chance to find out to self-comfort sometimes. In fact, that's a crucial skill for infants to find out over time. Parents across cultures differ in terms of how comfortable they are with letting their babies cry. They get tons of recommendations about the way to behave from relations and strangers, alike about crying, spoiling, sleep routines, and more and more. Know that the evidence shows that a good sort of parenting approaches may result in secure attachment. So, as long as you are fairly consistent and nurturing together with your baby, you will develop a healthy relationship pattern that works for the both of you. Can babies have quiet once attachment? The answer to the present experts agree is yes. This research should be reassuring to working parents who worry that prolonged absence from their infant may be a risk to a secure attachment between them. Babies can hold simultaneous secure attachments with adults who regularly nurture them. The key is to be fully present with the babies in order that you'll truly read their cues. It takes practice to differentiate between a hungry cry and an overtired one. It takes patience to snuggle an upset infant and find out what works best, whether rocking, swaddling, or humming, or a mixture of all three, maybe. If your baby interacts with multiple caregivers on a daily basis, it's key to speak what each of you has learned about your baby's temperament and which strategies work best to reassure her or him. It's equally important to agree on which tactics and routines to implement. This may teach the infant that the planet may be a predictable, comforting place which she'll be believing all of you to satisfy her needs when she is distressed. Finally, let's talk what are the advantages of healthy attachment. Studies show that an early healthy attachment is one among the strongest predictors of a child's well being. Among the positive outcomes are children who get older to be self reliant, manage stress well, do better in class, and from healthier relationships themselves. Right? So, certainly, healthy attachment is that the goal all parents wants for his her children, and therefore the best plans to achieve is to acknowledge that no single interaction goes to form or break the attachment, but rather to plan to be being as responsive, nurturing, and consistent you will be together with your infant. The dance you and your baby do together won't always be perfect, but your relationship will definitely enjoy your constant loving effort.